What's up, fam? Welcome back to the channel. I'm LeetCoder. If you guys are new here, I pretty much do LeetCode style questions and I explain things in the simplest way possible. So today we have a pretty interesting problem that I'm very excited about, guys. It's one of my favorite problems, guys. So this is the type of problem that, when you want to showcase your programming skills, guys. I'm saying you want to showcase your programming skills by doing pointless stuff, pretty much, right? So yeah, I'm joking, guys. But on a serious note, though, let's read the problem statement, right? So it says spiral matrix, right? So it says given an n by n matrix, right? Return all elements of the matrix in spiral order, guys. So yeah, so you can see that so spiral matrix, right? So we're gonna go through a couple examples to kind of get familiar with it, right? So we see one, so we're giving this matrix, right? So these, I'm saying, so that's the matrix right there, right? And then the we should print the stuff, right? Print the, or add it to an output result, right? The element in a spiral order, guys. So you can see the way they do it, right? 1, 2, 3, right? We got 1, 2, 3, and then 3, 6, 9, right? And then 9, 8, 7, 4, 5, right? So exactly what they have here, guys, in the output result, right? So yeah, so this one's the same thing, guys. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 8, 12, 11, 10, 9, right? And spiral order, guys. So spiral, boom, 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 right? So hopefully we kind of, like, there's a pattern. We kind of see the pattern, guys, that they're doing, guys. So let's think about it, guys. So you see that, the way that the spiral order is going, right? So they go from left to right. So we know how to loop through matrices, right? So we've done problems like that before. So we know how to loop through matrix, right? We loop through every row, and for every row we loop through every column, guys. So yeah, so this one's pretty interesting, guys. So this was in spiral order. It's not as straightforward, guys. So there's gonna be a little bit of trick, guys, that I'm saying. So I'm gonna teach you guys the trick a little bit. So don't worry, all right? So what we're gonna do, guys, is gonna be very, very intuitive, right? So pretty much, let's see the pattern real quick, right? So they're going from left to right, right? And then once they go there, they go from top to bottom, right? They go all the way to the bottom, I'm saying, and then they go from right, this one, and then they go from the bottom, right, from right to left, right? Okay, and then once they reach the left side, they go from left all the way up to the top, right? But since we already processed the thing at the top, so they don't go all the way to that top, right? So yeah, so they go from all the way here, right, which is 4, right? And then they go from this to this, right? So yeah, the way we're gonna solve it, guys, pretty much, it seems like we're gonna have to have some kind of way to set boundaries, guys, so that we, because you probably would have thought that since you reach the left side, right, it needs to go all the way up, right? It will be 7, 4, 1, right? So it will be an infinite loop, right? So we need to have some boundaries. So say, oh, yo, we've already processed stuff at this anything that's prior, right, that above this one, right? We already processed that, so you don't need to go up there, right? So we need, that's why I'm saying we need some kind of boundary. So just like, once we go here, right, 4, right, you might be saying that you should go from this to all the way up to the right? That's not going to work. So and you can't go all the way to the 6 because 6 has already been processed. So we gotta set some boundaries, right? Yeah, so we're gonna need some boundaries from the left, right? So boundaries everywhere, right? So pretty much, guys, we're gonna have a lot of boundaries, right? So boundaries for the left side and the right side, so that we know that stuff that we've already seen, we already processed, so that we don't have to do it, right? So after we process a particular row or column, right, we shrink the respective boundaries, right? We shrink them, right? And then yeah, so that we don't have to keep doing the same element over and over again, right? So we only see them once, right? And then we just yeah, keep shrinking until we become so small, right? So that we break out, we would just break out, right? So the way that we're gonna do it is gonna be pretty much, we're gonna have an infinite while loop, right? The condition that we're gonna exit the while loop, right, is when we are, let's say the boundaries, right, I'm saying, like, they're like the same thing, right? So pretty much we're gonna have a left boundary, a right boundary, a top, and a bottom, right? So that we can constrain the looping, guys, so we don't just loop mindlessly, guys. So that's why, yeah, so we're gonna have those kind of 4 boundaries to help us in shrinking the space every time, guys. So yeah, so we're gonna have so pretty much, let's go a quick walkthrough, right? So we're gonna have like so let's say the left side, right, the left pretty much for the column, right? The right is gonna be for the column, and top and the bottom is gonna be for the bottom, for the rows, and then top is gonna be for the thing, right? So initially, right, we're gonna loop through the first row, right? So pretty much, the top is gonna have pretty much the pretty much helping us and looping through, right? I'm saying, so we're gonna go all the way from the left side to the right side, right? And then once we go from the right side, we go from so this is the right column, right? You know what I'm saying? So we would go from the top to the bottom, guys. So yes, you'll see how the code is gonna be very, very straightforward, guys. So let's go ahead with the implementation, I'm saying, and then we'll go through a couple of walkthroughs so that it can kind of make more sense, guys. So I know it can be kind of confusing now. So so pretty much let's get the number of rows. It's gonna be matrix that length, right? And then the number of columns, right? It's gonna be matrix 0 that length, right? All right, so now we need to have the boundaries, guys, that I talked about, right? So we have a left boundary, which is gonna pretty much help us and shrink the left side of the column, right? You know what I'm saying, coming from the left hand side, right? So yeah, so what it would be 0 pretty much, right? Initially, right? Pretty much the first column, right? And then we have our right boundary, right? We pretty much would be the number of columns minus 1, right? Okay. Yeah. So so that's the number of columns, right? So it would be right there, right? That's what it would be initially. So the left side would pretty much set here, and then the right side would be there, right? And then now we need to take care of the number, like having some constraint for the rows, right? So we know that how high should we go? I'm saying when we're going up, and how down should we go when we're going down, right? So we can have some constraint, right? So say no, you can't go up to that particular row, right? So we're gonna have let's name it top, right? Top is gonna be 0 initially, right, to signify the first row, right? And then the bottom, right, it's gonna be the rows, right, minus 1, right, to signify the last row, guys. So yeah, you guys are following so far? Let me know. All right, comment section. Okay. So I told you guys we're gonna have an infinite loop, right? Pretty much, yeah. Okay. So now, guys, we're gonna loop through. So pretty much the first case, right? We're loop through from the left side to the right side. Right? So how do we do that, right? All right. So how are we gonna be doing that? So pretty much we know that we're gonna loop through from the left side and I is go to 0, right? That's 0. So it should equal to the left side, right? Because whatever thing's on the left side, right? So the left side up to, right? Up to what, guys? Up to the right boundary, right? We want to reach all the way up to the right. So we go from the left side, the leftmost column, right? That we have in our space, right? Which is right now 0, and then the rightmost thing that we have on our space is on the column, right? Which is 3, right? So we go from 0 to 2, guys. So that's what we're doing here, right? So how do we constrain it to only have the first row, right? Remember, I told you guys the top is gonna help us and knowing which row that we're on right now, so I'm saying, so that's what's gonna keep track, guys. So we need an output result, guys, I'm saying, to pretty much add the numbers because they want us to return, guys, the values, right, in spiral order, guys. So that's why we need to have that, right? So pretty much we're gonna have this. What am I doing? So let's copy that real quick. Let's copy it. So we have the result, guys. It's gonna be new array list, right? That's gonna be our output result, guys. So yeah, so we're pretty much gonna add, right? Where's that add, guys? Matrix, right? So I told you guys, the row, right? That's gonna be the row. So we're on the first row, right? So that's how we have the top. The top is gonna help us in knowing which row that we're on and to how we should loop through, right? And then now the I is pretty much now gonna loop through every column for the row. So 1, 2, 3, right? So it's gonna add 1, 2, 3 to the output result right here, right? Okay. And then after we do that, guys, we need to increment the top, right, to signify. So we're done with the first row. So now the top is gonna equal to 1, right? So now the space is gonna be a lot smaller. So we're only gonna be, so now this is gone, right? We're not gonna take care of this anymore. We're just gonna have this space now, 4, 5, 6, all right, this square right there, right? Okay. Yeah. And then yeah, so we're gonna do particular checks, guys, to make sure that if we're gonna break out or not, right? So if the top, guys, if the top is greater than the bottom, right? Say it crossed over or something, right? Then we break, right? We break. You know what I'm saying? Then that's bad, right? We break out of the loop, right? Yeah, so now the next thing, what's the next thing we should do, right? Now we need to go from the top, right, to the bottom, go all the way down to the bottom, right? So, and only taking into account this column that we're on, right? You know what I'm saying? So with the help of the right, right? Because we went all the way up to the rightmost column that that was valid, right? So now we need to go down, guys. This is exactly what we're gonna do here, guys. You know what I'm saying? We loop through, so we're gonna be doing the same thing. So I is gonna equal to what, right? To the top, right? Top, right? And then I is greater than or equal. Because no, we're going to the thing, so it should be is less than or equal to the bottom, right? And then I plus plus, guys, because we're going down, right? So it'll go from 0, 1, 2. I'm saying, so that's what we're doing right there, right? So we need to add it, guys. So that's not gonna be the same. So it's just gonna be a little bit of logic change, right? So we know that what's it called? The rows are gonna be the one that's changing, right? Because we're going for every row, right? Boom, 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 right? The rows are going to be changing, so that's why the I is there, right? Because that's what's going to be changing, right? You saw the one for the first one, right? The I that we put, right, was the column that was changing, so that's why we do this, right? But the row stay constant, right? So just like this one, are we going down? The rows are going to be changing, but the thing's going to stay constant, pretty much, right? So the right pointer, right, which is the column, right, lets us to be only in this row, right? So now we're in good shape. So now, guys, we just process all the elements right there. So we're going to have to decrement the left pointer, right? So now the space is going to only be right there, right? Only this square right there, right? After we do that. So we're going to need to decrement the pointer, right? So the next thing that we're going to do, right? Don't worry, guys, I'm going to take care of that case as well. Yeah, so after we decrement the right top, right, we check did it crossed over, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's the left, is it greater than the right, right? Because we decremented the right, that's why we're doing the check right there. If it is, then we would break out the loop, right? And then now, guys, we know what's the next thing that we do. We need to go from the from this to all the way here, right? To 7, right? So let's take care of that case. That case will be taken care of by, so same thing, I equal to 0. Nope. Before we do that, let's think about it, right? So I is there, right? And you go from right to the left side. So yeah, from right to left. So now with the help of the column, right, which is I is equal to the right pointer, to the right boundary. I is greater than or equal to the left side, right? Because the left boundary is going to help us and knowing which up to what limit to do it, right? So I minus, guys. So and same thing right there, right? Speed up a little bit, right? So what's going to be changing, right? We know what's going to be changing. So the row is going to stay the same, right? So with the help of the bottom, right? Which is the row, which is the row that we're on, right? The bottom row. So if we're going to go from right to left, right? So I'm saying, so from right to the left side, that's what we're doing, right? And the I is going to populate that. So we're going to go from boom, boom, boom. We decrement, right? Since we're going to the left side, right? That's why we decrement, guys. What I'm saying. Okay. Yeah, and then we do the check, guys. The same thing, the top. No. Let's hold it up a little bit. So right now, after we're done with that, right, we need to increment the bottom, right? Bottom plus plus, right? Bottom minus. I mean, right? And then we check, does the top, is it greater than the bottom right there, right? All right, so now, guys, we need to do the last one that we need to take care of, guys, which is we're here, right? So now we need to go all the way up to the top, right? The top is right there now, right? Because we already processed the top right here, right? We incremented the top right there, right? From 0 to 1, right? So we're gonna go all the way up to whatever the top row is, right? That's valid still, that we still need to consider. You know what I'm saying, that's how we end up simulating the spiral order, guys, with those boundaries. You know what I'm saying, very, very good problem, guys. So I is 7, right? I'm saying no, I is not 7, but we're at the bottom, right? So we need to go from the bottom to the top, right? So we go from and I is gonna equal to, so no. So bottom minus minus top. Right, so I'm right here, right? So now I need to go from left to right, right? You know what I'm saying? And now we're at the bottom. Yeah, we're at the bottom. And then yeah, my bad guys, I froze for a little bit. So yeah, we're at the bottom. And then I is greater than or equal to the top, guys, right? And then we do I minus minus, guys, right? And then yeah, we keep doing that. Got confused for a little bit, right? So yeah, so so we're at the bottom, and then we need to go from bottom to top, right? So we're gonna go all the way to top. So top's right there. And yeah, so what's gonna be changing, guys? So into that real quick. All right, so what's gonna be changing is the rows, right? So we know that the column is gonna stay the same, right? We'll go there. So with the help of the left boundary, that's how we end up doing that, right? Yeah, the left boundary takes care of the column for us, right? So we need to go all the way up to the top, right? Only in that column though, right? Which is the left's job is taking care of that for us, right? Then now, guys, the last check that we do, pretty much the same thing right there. Right? If the so yeah, so we need to increment the left corner, right? The left boundary to go forward. What I'm saying. So now we even shrink the size of it further. So now we only considering this one now, right? Yeah. And then yeah, one last thing that we need to do, we check the left crossover to the right. If not, break, right? Yeah. All right. Seems like we are pretty good. Let's try to return the result, right? See if we got something going, guys. So seems like the whole logic is pretty good. It's a pretty long problem. All right, nice. We are good so far. Let's see if we pass all the test cases, guys. You know, I'm shaking now. Awesome, guys. We're able to pass all the test cases, guys. I want to thank all you guys for taking the time to watch this video. If you guys found value, make sure to give me a like. If you guys are new here, subscribe to the channel because we do a lot of, we'll be doing a lot of other videos just like this one. So I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.